The answer is yes. Waiters do mess with customers and their food, especially if you're a jerk. Witness a Domino's sandwich being defiled by a demented employee.
This is Michael's special Italian sandwich.
This video from a South Carolina Domino's was a confirmation of our worst fears. Cheese in the nose, then in the sandwich. Proof of the unappetizing truth.
To be served to some unlucky customer.
And the Domino's guy took it to the extreme. He made an ass of himself and his work, literally. The good news, this prize and his cohort behind the camera were both busted for their antics.
Yeah.
Don't forget, our sandwiches are on special.
Biggest fear people have from ordering food is that people are very worried and concerned about the health and hygiene of whoever's preparing their goods.
I didn't want to eat it because I wanted to spit in it.
Holy can you believe this?
On the reality show Restaurant Stakeout, owner Willie Deagle placed hidden cameras to see if waiters act out. And they do. This guy fancies himself a comic.
Kind of crusty.
Like your boyfriend's underwear.
Here, a waitress has had enough of a difficult customer's attitude.
I'm so tired of your attitude. I got here, and then I got to...
Some waiters just snap. They take so much abuse, and they want to do something to get revenge.
Steve Dublanica wrote Waiter Rant after starting a blog about his misadventures as a waiter for close to 10 years in and around New York City. He says waiters don't go off for no reason. He sees them as victims themselves, victims of rude, dehumanizing, demoralizing customers.
You say 20% of the American dining public are socially maladjusted psychopaths.
Yeah, you just run into this segment of the American public that's very entitled, and they have this I want what I want when I want it kind of attitude.
Look, the waitress!
Like here, when a Red Lobster in Chicago becomes a crime scene after some disgruntled customers literally attack their server.
She's gonna kick that bitch's ass. She threw a drink in her face.
All this because the waitress mistakenly brought the wrong order, which these ladies ate, by the way, before storming out. So, in this battle of bad manners, Steve confesses that servers often strike back, but the obvious assault is the exception. More common, he says, is something more frightening: sabotage. For example, listen to what he did to a big spender who was being rude while trying to impress his date.
And when it came time to pay the bill, I would tell him his credit card had been declined.
And it hadn't?
Oh, of course not. You know, nothing hurts when you're trying to impress a girl than looking like you're broke. It was hysterical.
And then there's something offensive to a sense of decency and a sense of smell. Something known as crop dusting.
You may walk by and leave them a little gift as you pass the
Yeah,
table.
flatulence, yeah.
So you would leave a little bomb there and
Well,
walk
you know,
by?
the beautiful thing is no one would know.
Call it the fog of war. Like in the movie Waiting, all it can take is a waiter who's on edge
Let me ask you something.
and a customer with a tude.
How intelligent do you have to be to take a food order?
When you say, how hard can this job possibly be that you screwed up my order?
Now we got trouble.
Now you're getting into the nuclear option territory.
And hence comes the hockey puck story.
Yes.
The hockey puck. That's what happens when you criticize how your food is cooked the wrong way. Oh, they'll take your steak back for the third time. But Steve says, here is what may happen to it in the kitchen.
They were so aggravated, they just put it on the floor and used it as a hockey puck. You know, with brooms.
On a kitchen floor?
Yeah, and then they just probably threw on a grill for a second to put on his plate and send it back to him.
Did the guy notice?
Yeah. My friend said he ate it right up. I guess floor cleanser was just what his steak needed.
Waiter frustrations multiply exponentially when you add an entitled movie star or celebrity to the equation. Meet Chase McGowan, waiter to the stars at a well-known Los Angeles eatery.
I had one actress, the fans were turned up too high, the music was turned up too loud, there was too much dressing on her salad. Nothing that I did pleased her.
Chase vents his diva rage on a blog called The Bitter Waiter, where he reviews celebrities' manners and tipping style. But at the restaurant, revenge needs to be served up in more subtle ways.
And I said, we need you to call us a cab. And I come back and I say, your cab's waiting. It's outside in the back by the dumpsters. Of course, the dumpster smells horrible. And I kept looking out the window, watching as these two people waited for a cab that I never called, that never came. So that was probably my most gratifying form of revenge.
But the revenge tactic everyone dreads the most is the idea, just the mere suggestion, of a server adding an extra ingredient to what you are about to eat. The dreaded loogie.
First thing we do is we add a little extra gravy to the mashed potato.
Played out in movie after movie. Bartender Alan Burton says this tactic is more common than anyone likes to admit.
That's really when it reaches the boiling point.
And you've seen that go down?
I have. I worked at a chain restaurant. I saw that happen. Yeah.
But most servers say it is an urban legend.
I've heard that countless times. But did they actually do that? I mean, that's very primitive, angry behavior. I don't think it happens very often, but the threat is there, and the threat keeps the customer in line.
You're kind of a psycho. There's a little bit of psycho.
Yeah, maybe.
You all have a little bit of crazy in there. You have to be careful not to incite it.
Yeah.
The good news is all of the tummy-turning terrorism confessed can be easily avoided. Just remember two things. Be nice and tip your server. That's all it takes to avoid becoming another victim of waiter revenge.
What is the warning? What do you want people to know?
All I say is be polite, say please and thank you. That's a big thing.
And tip.
And, oh yeah, of course. And tip. And no one's going to get hurt.
And if not?
Watch your step.